Yeah, we've just passed an armoured personnel carrier on the streets with about a dozen troops in it. There are people standing around, civilians standing around, watching what's going on. So I have now seen with my own eyes one big armoured personnel carrier on the streets with a dozen troops. We're just heading into the sort of centre of government here, so we'll be able to give you more of an idea of the scene. But definitely now we've seen soldiers on the streets of Bangkok.
As we talk about this, Dan, we realize that the Thai Prime Minister has declared a state of emergency while he is in New York for the region back in Bangkok, Thailand. What else can you tell us about what you're seeing around you? Is there a sense of urgency? Are people panicked? Are there people in the streets at all?
Yeah, there are people in the streets, and a lot of people look like they're talking on their phones. I wouldn't say there's a roadblock. We've just come up to a roadblock now. I can see another whole phalanx of armoured personnel carriers, Humvees. I'm not an expert on tanks and things, but big, heavy military vehicles parked in the middle of the road, stopping traffic, and we're trying to get into the centre of the city. So there seems like they've thrown up what looks like a roadblock and possibly some sort of cordon they're trying to establish around the centre of town. It's fairly difficult to say at the moment.
The Prime Minister did win the last two elections there by landslide victories back in 2001, 2005. He's expected to win again in November, but now there is a possibility of him stepping down due to the pressure that has been put on him involving allegations of corruption and abuse of power.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he's been under pressure for almost all of this year by the opposition parties who have been accusing him of everything from corruption to nepotism to rigging the last election in April, all of which he vehemently denies. It must be said his Thai party is very popular, especially in the rural areas, a very populist party. Thai means Thais love Thais, and it's geared up to really tap into the rural poor in Thailand, and he's certainly launched a lot of policies, including loans and things, to try and help poor farmers. But he is fairly unpopular, I would say, with the middle classes in Bangkok, with some of the middle classes anyway, and has been clinging on to power for much of this year. The election in April was declared null and void after allegations that he tried to rig it. And so the Electoral Commission was sacked. The King, in fact, intervened at one point, and a new election was scheduled for next month, possibly November. That now obviously looks like it's being called into question.
Yes, certainly. And as we get a shot from New York at the Thai flag there waving in the breeze, it's important, I think, to point out, Dan, he is a billionaire, and some of these allegations talk a little bit about bending these government policies of his country to benefit his own family's business.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he owns, or did own, Shinkor, which is a big telecoms company. I just want to tell you, we're just driving past two tanks now, which are parked at an intersection coming up to the, where are we, near the Royal Palace, I think, coming in towards the very heart of Bangkok. Yeah, Thaksin had a big telecoms company, Shinkor, which he sold to the Singaporeans. He didn't pay tax on that deal, and he was accused of bending the rules in his favour. And also, there was a lot of consternation about him selling such an important company to a regional neighbour, and accusations of him being unpatriotic and so on.